My seniors in the police force, and all my colleagues. I'm Malika Garg, 2015 batch officer of IPS. I'm additional SP admin in Krishna district, and I'm representing my Superintendent of Police, Mr. Ravindranath Babu, for this presentation. So we all were affected by the COVID pandemic last year, and it caught us unaware. Nobody had any clue what this is, and everybody, the whole nation was gripped with panic. So armed with the experience we had last year, and the desire to make sure this the experience is not repeated the second time round, we as a Krishna district police decided that we will take a holistic approach to the police welfare during this second wave of pandemic. So I will share with you the different approaches we have taken, the different steps we have taken, and how the impact has been for as compared to first wave. What is the impact in the second wave? So as we all are aware that policemen are frontline workers. They are tasked with jobs of curfew, lockdown implementation. On a daily basis, we are interacting with a large number of public persons, even in close proximity. And due to the nature of the police job, there is generally stress levels are quite high, and presence of comorbidities is also quite high, because there is sometimes, due to lack of time, people tend to neglect their health and exercise. So for this, we have taken a multi-pronged approach. So first, I will discuss the preventive aspect. So first, we conducted a vulnerability assessment. Next slide. We conducted a vulnerability assessment of all our police force. This was done by our unit medical officer on criteria of comorbidity, presence of comorbidities, the age, whether a woman, specifically for women if they are pregnant or lactating. We have divided our police force into 3 groups: extremely vulnerable persons, and normal persons. Normal as in normal healthy persons. Next. So based on this division, we have taken some steps. So for the extremely vulnerable persons, they are people who have a very high risk of contracting COVID and also developing complications if they are infected. So these persons, we have asked them to work from home, so that there is minimal contact with the public and they are still able to perform their duties without going on leave. For example, we have you can see the pictures of some women constables who are pregnant. They have been given the task of register maintenance, which they were doing at their respective homes with zero exposure to any public persons. Secondly, the vulnerable persons, they were given tasks inside the police station. For example, we have the computer constable of one of the police stations. He's working on the computer, he's maintaining CDs, and they are not encouraged to go out and do enforcement duties. Next slide. The next, what was the gift of the second wave was, before the second wave was that we were having vaccination. So during January itself, before the second wave, Krishna district police and also Andhra Pradesh police, we have taken the vaccination on war footing, because that was our only saving grace. In case anything else was to happen, as it did happen, second wave came. This was the only way we could have significantly reduced our vulnerability. Initially, as we are all aware, in the minds of public, in the minds of all the frontline healthcare workers, there were severe doubts about the efficacy of vaccine. What are the side effects? So because of it, even our police force members were also very hesitant. So we led by example. Our SP sir and all the senior police persons got vaccinated on the first day itself, and in the view of all our police personnel, to assure them that this is a very safe procedure and no untoward incident was going to happen to them. So seeing this, all other persons came forward and they got themselves vaccinated. And there were few people who were still hesitant. We conducted counseling sessions along with doctors, our unit medical officer, and also doctors which we had called from outside. And through this procedure, we were able to achieve 98% vaccination of our police force. These 2% which are left are persons with severe health issues who may who are susceptible to some reaction from the vaccine, and also pregnant women who are not advised to take this vaccination. And also after vaccinating our police force members, we have also taken up the process of vaccinating all the family members of the police persons who are above 45 years of age, and in that also we have achieved 93% vaccination. Secondly, we on a regular basis we have conducted awareness programs for police personnel itself. As soon as we got aware that this second wave is coming, we were regularly conducting set conference, teleconferences, video conferences with all our police personnel in each and every unit to apprise them about the do's and don'ts. And we also conducted health camps. We assessed their medical conditions. We conducted the risk assessment, which we have already talked about. And these camps are also extended to family members, so that as a whole, all of us are able to meet the challenge of COVID in a proper manner. Secondly, we also got acquired protective gear. These were obtained from our police funds also, and we also tied up with different private partners who, as part of their CSR initiatives, have donated masks, hand gloves. So as you can see, more than 1 lakh masks we have obtained, 30,000 gloves, 20,000 bottles of sanitizer, face shields, and all of these were distributed to the police person who are on the ground, so that they can take adequate steps to prevent any chances of COVID infection. And we encourage the police personnel to use this on a daily basis, and we monitor the usage of all these protective gear. Also, for our vulnerable and extremely vulnerable groups, after doing research of all the suitable insurance policies, we identified one SBI Corona Rakshak policy to be more suitable to meet the needs of our police personnel. And we provided the insurance premium free of cost from our police funds, and we got 857 persons insured for COVID. That anytime if they contract COVID and if they are hospitalized, they will get their insurance amount. And next slide. And also we this is regarding testing. Now, in case anybody has any doubt whether they have contracted COVID or not, instead of sending them to private facilities or other government facilities, we have established a testing center in our police unit hospital itself, and also there are branches in each of the subdivisions. So any police person or family member who has any doubt, they can approach any of these centers and get their test done free of cost. And also we were following up on the results. So within 24 hours of testing, we were able to get the results. As you're aware, a lot of other people were facing difficulties in getting quick results. So this also we were monitoring from end to end to ensure quick results. And also we have established an in-house COVID care center. That is, we have a police Kalyan Mandapam, that's a marriage hall, which is run as part of police welfare measure. During the COVID, the second wave, we converted into a COVID care center, and it was recognized as a branch of the government hospital, local government hospital. So it was also treated as a government hospital, and we were able to get all the facilities like doctors, nurses, 24/7 they were available, and also oxygen support. So we had 30 beds over here, out of which 20 beds were fully equipped with oxygen support. And we also installed 4 CPAP machines to take care of any advanced oxygen support if it is needed.
And to conclude now, please.
Yes, and remdesivir also was stocked over here. So 90% of our hospitalization needs were met in-house. Next slide. And all the COVID care affected personnel, their health was monitored on a day-to-day basis. As our SP sir and other senior officers, we conducted video conferences on a weekly basis, talked to them on phone, and we distributed medical kits with all medicines to all the police personnel. Next slide. We also established a dedicated help desk consisting of additional SP, one DSP, one RI. They were all the time available, and this was available for all the police person and their family members 24/7. And we also had an officer in Vijayawada to conduct liaison for obtaining beds and any medical emergency in Vijayawada, which is the nearest big town to our district. And we did even for the post-COVID recovered persons, we have conducted a awareness camp and a medical health checkup to test for black fungus and make them aware of the symptoms so that they can look out. And since we know that black fungus is quite a deadly disease, if it is not identified in time, there is 50% chance of fatality. So we are monitoring that also. So this is our impact. The red is the first wave, and yellow you can see the second wave. So we can see that between the first and second wave, due to all the efforts which we have taken, from preventive, from curative, from monitoring of health status, establishing of COVID care center, distribution of protective gear. So this had a considerable impact on the infection rate. There was a 40% reduction in the infection rate in the second wave, and there was a 70% reduction in the hospitalization rate, and 50% reduction in the death rate in Krishna District Police. And most of all, it was a big boost to the morale of the force, because previously people, our police person had a lot of doubt that what will we do in case we are infected, what will happen if our family members are infected. So because of this efforts which we have made, and especially the establishment of the COVID care center, which was done by coordination with our local revenue department also. This was made possible in whole Andhra Pradesh. We were the first persons to establish any COVID care center, which was exclusively meant for police. And this provided a big boost of morale for the police. They had the confidence that if anything was to happen, there would be a facility to treat them. As you know that we reached a situation a while ago in which beds were not available, oxygen was not available, and there was a panic situation all around. So that our police person can function effectively without worry in such a situation, we established the COVID care center.
Madam,
and this
I
is
would have to request you to conclude.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Okay. I think you have done wonderfully well. Very good initiative for the welfare of your department, because if the police force is healthy, or if they are protected, then only they will help others to get protected. Just a small question. This 98% you said were vaccinated. What about their families?
Yes, I have said that we were initially targeting the age group of 45 years and above family members, and 93% of the family members have also been vaccinated.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Good. Keep on doing this good work.
Thank you.
I think it's a good job done. Please keep it up. You can, in a way, broaden your scope of operation. What you have very successfully done for the police force itself, I think you should now start contributing in a much wider way to the general public, so that the hesitancy for vaccination is actually taken away from them, and as a district and as a state, you achieve a high figure of vaccination. There may be some shortages in supply, but notwithstanding that, in case that can be given a push, especially in the weaker sections, I think that would be a great thing.
Yes, I agree with you. We are all our local police officers, all police station SHOs are conducting awareness camps regarding vaccination also, even right now, for the general public, and we will surely increase the efforts in this. Thank you.
Sure, I think that will be an excellent thing. Thank you very much.